So Chris Hyde then makes another return, and the other two motors, we should tell Chris Hyde that there are personnel trying to work on the cars, on the 7.5 tonners I should say. And I'm told they've all taken on 50 gallons of fuel, so we could be here till midnight. So he's going round and round, the engine is running, and the little transit now beavers its way around to the tail end of the beaver tail, and it's free! So here we go now, and the beaver tail is free. It was the fastest of the three. I don't know if anyone's going to try and give Dean Woods a bit of a jump start in the 305 machine if they possibly can. Just out full sportsmanship to keep him going. Here comes Tony Rudge in the beaver tail now. The personnel down there need to stand clear if the beaver tail's coming up behind. Beware lads, the beaver tail is coming. So 604, 614 Chris Hyde, and 800 then Tony Rudge, both contenders. You can almost see the lorries bristling with boxing gloves. They're going to finish each other off one way or another. Meanwhile, the situation of Dean Woods' machine, the 305 lorry, does look a bit desperate down here. There's a lot of personnel all trying to get this one going. The engine apparently runs, but there's something not connecting between the engine and the transmission. They're desperate, and Roger Wilco just is Roger Wilco going to be the meat in the sandwich between these two lorries? Does anybody want to see Roger Wilco squashed between two lorries? No, that's not really going to happen. We will hopefully get the personnel away from the raceway so that these two can sort things out between themselves. So it does look now, unfortunately, as if Dean Woods is not going to get this one going, unless a clout in the tail end now from the Dean Woods machine. Oh, that's another big lump knocked off the 614 machine of Chris Hyde. So Chris Hyde, no, the lorry is trying, but one go actually. Oh no, it's not quite immobilised yet. Oh, we're going to get Dean Woods' machine rolling. Can anyone give it a kick in the backside to get it going? I think that might be what it wants from one of these other two contenders. Dean Woods shaking around there in the arrogant 305, but just one go for him. So it's another circuit. Yeah, get this, boys and girls. It's another circuit being done by the 614 machine. And here comes Tony Rudge. Oh, big one in on the tail end then of Chris Hyde. So get them both to attack Dean. We're going to ask for everyone to attack Dean Woods as he sits in his Fiat. Anyone who think he was Queen Elizabeth II there? Oh, and that was a hail and hearty smack in the side then from Tony Rudge into the side of the 614 machine of Chris Hyde. So who's it going to be out of these three? Well, certainly no matter what they seem to do, the destruction derby can't take place. And Dean Woods is begging for a bit of a whack in the tail end of that truck to try and get it working. Will it work? As in goes Tony Rudge. And I can smell the diesel oil from here, leaking from one of these machines. So a big wheel spin going on from Tony Rudge's machine now. So we're hoping to get the Dean Wood machine restarted, if that's at all possible. If Dean can possibly kill the engine and then restart it while it's in gear, that might be an idea. But otherwise, I think we're going to have to declare that Dean Woods is in fact out of this. and that the Destruction Derby is now between Chris Hyde in 614 and Tony Rudge in 800. Poor old Dean Woods, it was a good game trier. So in the side goes the 800 machine of the now almost demolished Chris Hyde 614 truck, but the wall looms large for Tony Rudge. Who's it going to be out of these two then? Do we congratulate Dean Woods now? I think Dean has come to the end of his run out there and he's getting out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big cheer for Dean Woods. But the interesting part now is who's supporting 614 Chris Hyde? So Chris Hyde just readjusting his seat belts. We'll give him a minute or three for that. And I'm not sure actually if Chris Hyde's lorry is running now. We'll wait to see if he can get that into motion. Obviously just readjusting the seat belts, and the Tony Rudge machine is called off for a moment while he does that. But Tony Rudge is now coming in for the kill on Dean Woods' machine, and that's certainly, even if Dean Woods had still been inside that one, I think that would have been a killer blow, don't you, boys and girls? Well, here he goes again, and it's Chris Hyde back in business now. Is anyone still cheering for Chris Hyde?
Head on.
And who's cheering for Tony Rudge? As he goes in hard now on the inside. So we're looking for one of these two machines to give out, and Tony Rudge was the last to deliver the killer blow there, and he reverses back off to go for it once again, and the seat belts are off. Chris Hyde has seen enough. And, oh no, what's happening? We've got a bit of a fuel line problem. The fuel line has now snapped on the Chris Hyde machine. That's why we could smell diesel up here in race control, the Ideal Commercials race control. Meanwhile, some of the 50 gallons of fuel being used up by Tony Rudge as he does what is probably going to be a lap of honour. Oh, and once again, I can hear an escape of air. Is that going to lock the wheels on the Ford? We ask ourselves. So is that escape of air going to lock the back wheels of Tony Rudge's machine? Oh goodness me, the poor old 305 machine, now that Dean Woods is safely out of it, is really taking a right towersing down there on the pit gates bend. Tony Rudge having no mercy with it at all. Meanwhile, is the fuel line still working in the Chris Hyde machine, or is Chris just buckling himself back into the driver's seat now? So it is going to be a two-horse race from now on in. We've finished punishing the poor old 305 machine that Dean Wood so valiantly tried to get going, but we do still have two lorries that are racing for the Destruction Derby Diamond Jubilee crown here at Royal Aldershot. Who's it going to be then? Well, hopefully these two are going to make it a big coming together, maybe over in front of the grandstand. Certainly these two drivers have really given us some entertainment here this afternoon. Oh, there's another bit of punishment there for the 305 machine of Dean Woods. The poor old Fiat sits there, takes it, doesn't come back for more. And oh goodness me, we've got a lock-up situation once again with Tony Rudge's lorry. And Tony, a bit of manpower just to push the lorry away. Hey, and he's done it. So now are we going to have a grandstand finish between Chris Hyde and Tony Rudge then. Tony Rudge turns the beaver tail one more time into the centre of the raceway. Are they going to come together on the front end of these two? And yes, an absolutely mind-boggling, mental-twisting moment there between these two. Chris Hyde's lorry absolutely folded up on the near side, passenger side. Is it the final blow? And is Tony Rudge our race winner? That really was one heck of a coming together there I don't think there's going to be any more coming back from Chris Hyde.